My name is James Wood, reporting for Channel 5 News. The year is 1969. We are nearing the end of the decade, and it is time for us to once again reflect on the top changes that America has gone through in the past 10 years. One of the most exciting events of the decade so far happened probably only a couple months ago. On July 20th, 1969, Neil Armstrong was the first man to walk on the moon. Now, we might wonder why start with the last first, but you've got to remember, the space race went all the way back to the 50s when the Sputnik was the first satellite in space. Back in 1961, when Yuri A. Gagarin was the first human to make it to space, many of us feared that we would still be behind Russia. Part of Kennedy's new Frontier program, we pushed even farther with NASA to get up into space. First, we launched the Telstar satellite to display images down to us from space. But next, soon after, Neil Armstrong was walking on the moon. This event led to the growth of many industries throughout the United States in both defense and aeronautic technology. Another Kennedy reform during this era of the New Frontier was the Alliance for Progress. Within it, nearly $12 million was sent to Latin American countries to fuel reform and to keep communism out of our southern neighbors. However, another development from this program was the Peace Corps, which was much more popular. Though many criticized it for being only made up of college students, it was true that from all groups, shapes, backgrounds, and sizes, there was nearly 35,000 volunteers by 1968, most of them to be nurses, teachers, and agricultural advisors abroad to aid foreign countries. After winning his election, our new president, Lyndon B. Johnson, had some radical ideas to share with the country. He envisioned a new nation, one revitalized, called the Great Society. The Great Society came along with a number of reforms that would improve education, health, and the general standard of living for Americans. Johnson pictured his Great Society as one that was without segregation or discrimination based on race, so he helped to pass the Civil Rights Act, as well as the 24th Amendment and the Voting Rights Act to protect African Americans and other groups from persecution. He also addressed poverty in the domestic front through a series of acts that would help the lower class get back on its feet. These include acts that help fund rebuilding slums and poor lower class neighborhoods, funding government housing, and also the Equal Opportunity Act, which helped get people back on their feet economically. This has been Channel 5 News with James Wood, signing off. Thank you and have a good night. Keep it groovy.